Coach Ben Miller from University of North Carolina at Pembroke. How you doing, Coach?
Great, Richie. Good to see you.
I don't know if I should call you Coach Miller or Dr. Miller since you have that PhD.
Coach.
Sounds good to me. Hey, I want to talk to you. You guys won in the Division II conference, the Peach Belt Conference. You guys won the regular season, and you led the team to the first time winning the tournament in school history. So what were the key ingredients to your success?
Well, it was a great team, had some great senior leadership. One thing we really emphasize is rebounding the basketball, and that's something that was a key, I think, for us. We really bought into that this season, as we have some of our other previous teams, but this year the guys really bought into that, along with the defensive end a little bit more, and that really helped.
Because you guys had, you've been top 20 the last 3 years nationally in rebound margin, but I think you've been top 5 in some categories as well, and you've dominated the Peach Belt Conference in just about every rebounding category. So clearly that's what it takes to win for you guys.
Yeah, it's been a big plus. I was blessed to, be around Coach Williams for 10 years coming up through the ranks. And obviously you watched their team play this year. That was a huge key to their success. And that's something from day one we've tried to really emphasize with the guys. We set some goals for practice, game goals, and, that I think really helps get us over the top. So even when we're not shooting the ball well, if we get to the glass, get extra shots, that's been a big advantage for us.
And what a lot of people don't know is that you worked under Coach Roy Williams at Kansas for, 10, 11 years?
10 years, yeah.
10 years. So he's had an impact on your philosophy. And what areas of rebounding and as far as the winning tradition you've created there, has he had an impact?
Well, Coach really stressed it in practice every day, with drills and everything. It wasn't just doing rebounding drills when we're going up and down scrimmaging, getting plus points for offensive rebounds, getting penalized if you don't go to the glass. We try to send 3.5 guys to the glass every time. Our 3, 4, and 5 men, they got to get to the paint and get on the boards every time. We usually have either our 1 man or our 2 man get to the long rebounder spot as well to clean up some of those long rebounds. But, and as a team, sometimes there's punishment. If we get out rebounded in the game, we have a little thing called the Breakfast Club for those movie buffs out there. It's kind of like a Saturday detention if we get out rebounded, but we might get up the next morning at 6 o'clock to watch some film, do some blockout drills, and our guys learn pretty quick that can be a point of emphasis because they're like me. They don't want to get up at 5:30 and get to the gym at 6. So that's helped keep us focused.
So, yeah, and you guys have been so good at rebounding, particularly on the offensive end. So, what are the challenges to being a good offensive rebounding team? What knowledge can you help other coaches?
Well, number one, and then again, something I learned from Coach Williams, recruit good rebounders. If we're recruiting a frontline guy and they don't average 10 or more a game, it's that's something that, might be something that might lead us to recruit another guy. That's something that we really emphasize. And we like guards that rebound the ball. That shows a level of toughness, guys that are committed, whether it's rebounding the defensive end, or we've had guards that have been in the top 7 or 8 in our league in rebounding. So that's something we just try to, in recruiting, you look for. You emphasize it every day in practice with your drills. And then in games, we try to be plus 10 in that rebound margin, every game. Sometimes we send so many guys to the glass, we might give up a little bit with our defensive transition. But I think if we're going hard to the glass, those guys got to stay in there and block out. And I think that balances us out because we're getting extra shots, we're getting high percentage shots, and getting to the free throw line more when we're crashing the glass.
People talk about rebounding all the time, like we got to be a great rebounding team, and it seems so simple, but yet it's so difficult. And so, you're talking about some of the things that you emphasize and the reasons that you guys are so good at it. But is there anything else that makes your team stand out from others in that category?
I think we've got that mentality, and you've got some guys, it's natural, they're instinctive rebounds. Other guys, like Big George Blakeney in All-Conference Center we had a couple years ago. It took a couple years, a couple early morning wake-up calls, pulling him out of the games when he wasn't going to the glass. He was a big dude, but he hadn't built those habits of going every time. So when you have a guy like that has that ability, and you can get them to have that, mentality, that bulldog mentality where they're going to go to the glass every time, that can be contagious with your whole team. And I know one thing, none of them like getting up at 6 a.m. So when we get out rebounded, that also sends a message.
I don't like getting up at 6 a.m. So
no.
Yeah. So if anybody needs a clinic in rebounding, they need to call Ben Miller. Is that what you're telling me?
Just tell your guys they got to get their butts out of bed early the next morning, next time they get rebounding. Go help.
I like it. Hey, man, appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, Richie. Good to see you.
You too.